Talk to me about that day that she passed. There was a fight that took place
Mm-hmm.
in your
Grandmother's living room.
grandmother's living
That'll
room.
do. Thank you. In my grandmother's living room. My
What?
mother's sister. I'm not gonna. My mother's sister came to my. I'm gonna give you guys the American Express version. Came to my grandma's house. She was going to the hospital to see my mother because everybody knew that we were going to make that decision. However, they didn't. Everybody didn't know that she had passed already because we didn't even know that she passed until they told us that she passed.
Okay.
So I went to my grandma's to tell my grandma because we didn't want to call her.
Okay. You
And so
wanted to
when we
do
were
it
all
in
splitting up
person.
the siblings, I was like, okay, I'll go to grandma. You guys go. You know what I mean? Everybody was going their own. So I went to my grandma's to tell her we're crying together, we're praying, we're singing. And my aunt comes in and everything's copacetic, and we're telling her because my grandma's like, call your aunt so she doesn't go to the hospital. She was heading to the hospital. She didn't know my mom had passed yet. So she's like, call you guys' aunt so that you can tell her that your mom passed to just come to the house. So we told her to come to the house. She came, everything was fine. We're all sitting, everybody's cool. And my aunt was on her phone with my twin sister because my twin sister was like, where are you? Because she thought my aunt wanted to see the body. She didn't know that my aunt didn't, like it was still so she says, she's talking to my twin sister on FaceTime. We're talking, and I'm sitting like on the couch next to her, legs touching. And so I was like, Britt, she already knows, like we told her she's here. That was the conversation. And mind you, on my aunt's phone, right? My sister's on my aunt's cell phone
Cell
right here
phone.
on FaceTime, and I'm
Yeah.
sitting leg to
Right.
leg
So
with
you
her on grandma's couch.
yeah.
So like she already knows Brittany, like she's here at grandma's with us. And when my aunt hangs up the phone, she says, hey little girl. I didn't even get alarmed at first because I'm not thinking that she's don't you ever talk on my phone. This is my phone. I pay for this.
Because you leaned over and
Hmm.
spoke, but
Yeah,
it was her
with
conversation.
my sister. And I was like, well, that's my twin sister. I was just telling you. So like, I don't care who it is, little girl. So I got up and sat in my grandma's wheelchair across from her because I was just like, I'm still more like my mother died 35 minutes ago. So I'm just like, okay, no problem. So I'm literally being the problem. Like, it's okay. I don't even have the energy. Like,
Okay.
okay, no problem. Like, I'm sorry, I won't talk on your
She
phone.
felt like, as we
Yeah,
were talking about with boundaries, that's
yeah,
her
yeah, yeah,
boundary
yeah,
with your
yeah. That's
phone.
her. Whatever.
Okay.
That's what I was. Okay, cool. So while I'm sitting there, she's still going. I'll put you in your place, little girl. Like I'm not the one. So now I'm clapping back, and I'm like, listen, I don't have a problem, but like, come on now, like, let's not do that. So then she's like, Miss Two Baby Daddies or whatever. She starts going in. So I get my stuff to leave my grandma's house because I'm like, I don't want no parts because I would like my mother just died. I have nothing left. So I'm literally picking up my purse and whatever. But I had my charger and my wallet was on the counter because I was doing something for my grandma. So all I picked up was my purse when I left and my keys. When I got out to the fucking car, I was sitting in the car for like 5 minutes, and I'm getting ready to like plug my phone in. I'm like, shit, I don't have my charger. And then I realized, oh, you don't have your wallet either. So I have to walk back in, but I'm
So
not
you go
thinking
back
nothing
in the
of it
house.
because I'm not paying this hoe no mind. So she's literally outside walking down the balcony. Miss Two Baby Daddies, Miss da da da. Mind you, my aunt's had like 18 miscarriages and one child that's born alive. So I'm just like, bitch, what? Like my vagina works, yours doesn't. Let's not do this in the family
Hmm.
today, okay? So I go back in to get just my charger on my wallet. I'm literally whatever. And she's sitting down on the couch now. Miss Two still going, Miss Two Baby Daddy. Da 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 da. So now she stands up and I stand up and I walk towards her with my charger on my wallet. And I'm like, listen, and my grandma's in her wheelchair right there now. I was like, my mother just died. I'm not in the room for you. I was like, I got two baby daddies, but you got a husband that beats the shit out of you and doesn't pay shit. You got company. I was like, so we are not the same. I had a husband who actually paid all the bills. I said, me and you are not the same, okay? So I get ready to leave, and so she like body checks me. Like we're close to close. When she body checked me, I mopped the floor with her. And the fact that she thought that she could, you knew that already. You knew I was the tank in the family. You knew. So it was crazy. And then my grandma screaming. And then she tried to do all this propaganda to have me banned from my grandma's building. And I set the cease and desist. And they had to take my picture down. And they were like, it was a whole big thing. And my grandma, they were trying to coerce her into writing letters to the police. And my grandma was calling me crying, like, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh
I'm not,
no.
that's not, whatever. It was just crazy. It was
And
crazy. So
then
that's what happened.
you said she called DIFUS
Yeah,
on
she
you,
called Child
which people
Protective.
who don't know, that's the Division
That's the
of Youth
division
and
of youth
Family
and family services. So
Services.
she called child family services on me and said that I was mentally unstable and I was driving on live. And I was on live. And so when Dyfus came to my house, I'm a straight shooter. I said, yeah, I was driving on live. You want to see the live? I was cussing my aunt out. I said, and my phone was on a holder. Okay. And my son
You were live on social media?
on social media, she said,
Okay.
oh, she's driving while she's live. While my aunt was in that live taunting me because we still were friends on Facebook. So she was like, you mentally unstable fat bitch. She's going in, going in. So I had screenshotted the live, but I had also recorded the live. So when Dyfus came to my house, I already knew. I said, I just want to let you know, My aunt probably called. They were like, when we seen this complaint hit our desk, we already knew it was a retaliatory claim, just from the things that they were saying. So I was like, I was absolutely driving. You want to see live? And I said, I absolutely do take medicine for my ADHD and anxiety. Let me get you the bottle. And they were like, do you go to? I was like, you want my doctor's number and my therapist? Because I'm in intensive therapy.
And so, what was the result of that?
Nothing happened. They closed it, and she had to confess that she called DIFUS on the stand because you can't lie under oath. So my lawyer was like, did you call Child Protective Services on Brienne? And she was like, yeah. I said, I already knew you did. I would have subpoenaed the records. And they need to make that highly against the law.
Wow. And
yeah.
so you decided that day.
I decided the day my mother died to go no contact with my whole family. The only reason I started talking to my grandmother again was because my Aunt Gwen kept calling, like, because I was the granddaughter that did everything for my grandma. Like, I checked her insulins. I made sure her medicine was called in. I made sure her bathroom was clean. Like, I did everything for her. And my kids were, because she always be like, oh, bring the kids, I'm lonely. So I did everything for her with my kids there. And I couldn't leave my kids because she's too old for the most part. But so my aunt kept like, grandma's crying. She misses you, da da da. But she was torn because my aunt and them were basically telling her if she spoke to me that they wouldn't speak to her. They had told me that, like, oh, my grandma was, somebody had said, oh, your grandma's going to write a statement or whatever. But it was my aunt's trying to coerce her. And so the fact that I felt like my grandma was like siding with that when she knew, like my mother's dead, I didn't even go to the funeral. But my grandmother's a very sweep it under the rug kind of person too. We're not going to act like she's innocent because she's the matriarch. Okay, we're not. We're just not going to do that in Black family.
You didn't go to your mom's funeral?
No, I did not go to my mom's funeral. I didn't go because I didn't feel like I was going to feel comfortable in a funeral with people who called Child Protective Services on me, people who were plotting against me. Because how was I going to be able to be in there mourning my mother in a vulnerable place in the States? And I felt like I'm an adult enough to acknowledge that I'm not going to request that nobody can't come here. Whatever. This is my mother's funeral. That's also her sister. These are also my grandmother's kids. My grandmother just lost her first child. I knew that I wasn't going to tell people that you can't go to that. You because that's my mom. No, stay your ass at the house. But I already knew.
But they didn't tell you can't come. You decided.
Oh well, so there was some talk in the family group chat. Like they said, if you come to the church, they're scared that you're going to fight at the church. And all the people that were saying that, all my cousins are dead now. All the aunts that were in on that, they all died of cancer recently. And so you guys, the same. That's why you can't do certain shit to people. And so with me, I tell people all the time, like, I don't know what favor, what foot God got on my neck, but when people do things to me, their life just crumbles. I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry that's happening. I didn't even pray for that for you. I actually pray that God would have mercy on your soul because I knew something was coming for you because you played with me.
How did it make you feel to miss mom's funeral?
I didn't, to be honest with you, outside of the principle behind it, and I didn't feel no way because I was at peace with my mom. I knew we were right here. I could feel her in my house the day she died. Like I could see my cat was tweaking. I was like, oh, that's my mom. I could feel her. I could smell her. So I knew, and so it's crazy because they knew, my family knew that I was my mother's toughest child, but my mother, I was who she could count. Like Bree's gonna come through Bree, me and my mother, and even my sister Alyssa said that. She was like, look at what they did to Bree, and your mother was literally the only person that loved her unconditionally. Like it's crazy. So I was just kind of like, I felt away because it's my mom's funeral naturally, but I don't feel away because I know what kind of God I serve. And I know that he's a fair God and every dog has their day. And my aunts haven't lost their mother yet. They don't know that loss. They don't, they still have to go through that. And so I pray that God has mercy on their soul because they're going to lose it. They're going to have to think about me when that happens. They're not even going to get to sit in that morning in a peaceful place. They're going to have to be guilty. But me, I don't have to mourn that way. And so that's just kind of how I feel about it.
So who exactly did you cut off and who did you remain on speaking terms with?
I cut everybody off except my oldest sister and my little brother, JJ. So my oldest sister, Shamika, and my little brother. But then I had to cut them off.
Your twin sister was cut off.
Oh, well, she was cut off. Well, she wasn't cut off around that time. So when the fight happened with my mom, me and my siblings were still talking. And they was like, nah, she got what she deserved. I heard how she was talking to you like it is. My brother was like, I probably would have. My brother's like, I don't hit girls, but I probably would have sent somebody. Like, but... so we were all still talking. I think it was after my mom's funeral. I had my sister watching my son, and she struggled with alcoholism a little bit, but not like it was crazy because she would like binge drink. It wasn't even like she's a professional, super professional, and then she'll go like 3 days where she's drinking. And I didn't know if that was like for my mom or whatever. And so she called me one morning, like, come get your fucking son. She was drunk after she had offered to take him. And so when I got up out of the bed and I drove to go get my son, because it's mine, I vowed that I wasn't going to speak to her no more because she needed to go get help. I know maybe that she was mourning, she's going through her own things, and I acknowledge that, and I love her very much. But the drinking, the family, it was even in the family group chat, like, y'all know how she is when she's drinking. Y'all know she start drinking and calling everybody. And that's the problem that I have with my family. It's just everybody knows that's how she is, and that's how it is. And I don't fucking play that because right is right and wrong is wrong. So that's
that thing about this is just the way things are, and
I
that's
don't
how
play
it
that
is.
game.
It's just
I don't
like,
even
so
believe
there's
in
no
that
room for
at all.
change. There's no room for growth. What was your relationship like with your grandmother?
We were very close.
Okay, like even growing up as a child.
Yeah, I lived with her for a while. We were very close. I do everything for my grandma because none of my cousins visit my grandma.
Okay,
it's just like a holiday thing, even though they live close. They don't check on my grandma.
There's something going on between them and grandma? Like,
no, they're just selfish.
Okay.
You're just.
And these are cousins that
first
are
cousins.
also
my grandmother's kids.
Okay.
And everybody's selfish. Nobody comes. No, nobody comes. We have some cousins that just think they're better than the family. Like they have this grandiose sense of self because they grew up in Montclair. Bitch, you grew up in Boonton and then you went to Montclair. Stop it. On Section 8. So like, let's be clear here. They don't check for my grandmother at all. So it was, now my grandmother was feeling it because your one daughter moves to Alabama. Nobody else checks on you. My mother's dead. Your first child who always does everything for you is on the phone with you all day. You guys talk about your TV shows, all that. No, so yeah.
And she had a close relationship with you, so now with you not
talking yeah, so she had lost my mother, she lost me and my children same time. It is what it is. Like,
yeah. How have you been readjusting since your mom passed away?
I've been really okay. I tell people often that you think your mom can do a lot for you from earth, wait till she goes to heaven. That's what I always tell people. Wait till your mom goes to heaven and she can put those words in for you. Like, depending on what you believe, some people believe when you die you don't remember anything, but I believe that there's a higher power, and I believe that he lets you keep your mother and father. I believe that they are your angels. And so I tell people that my life really started becoming blessed when my mother died. It was like my mother knew that in order for me to get to my next level, she had to go.
Okay.
Because she couldn't come with us. It didn't matter how much money we got. Like, we'd be on a boat in Maldives. She can't fly with one lung. We would have had to, it wouldn't have mattered what we could have gained. Like, even now with success coming for me and all the things happening for me, it wouldn't have mattered because I wouldn't have been able to give her all the things that I felt were the desire of her heart, when really health was, and I couldn't give that to her. Right. So it was just an understanding.